Everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Empowering You TV. I'm so excited you're here today with us. My name is Amy Hutton, and I'm your host for this show. I'm now in Calgary, Alberta, yet I grew up in Pickering, Ontario, which is about 20 minutes east of Toronto. Each episode, you will hear remarkable stories of women who have beaten the odds, risen above all challenges, and are now living their amazing lives full on like the brave, empowered women I know they're born to be. For more information to be featured on Empowering You TV, please reach out to me at amy@inchbyinchempowerment.com. For today's show, I'm actually really excited about this amazing lady I'm going to be interviewing and showcasing you. Her name's Patricia, and we've actually been friends for a good 5 years now, and through different book projects and workshops and trainings all through the internet. That's how we've been connected. We've actually not yet met in person. I'm looking forward to the day when that will finally happen. Patricia's amazing, but let me read just a snapshot of her story for you. Patricia LeBlanc is a dream maker. She empowers spiritual entrepreneurs to get out of their own way so they can create the life and business that they desire. She helps her clients to get clear on what they truly desire and to release the energetic blockages, including money and abundance, that are holding them back from living a happy, fulfilled, and abundant life. Patricia is an award-winning author, international speaker, and trainer, manifesting and business strategist, as well as a master energy healer and teacher. Patricia is also the creator, compiler, and publisher of the international best-selling book series called Manifesting a New Life, which is available on Amazon. She is the founder and CEO of Patricia LeBlanc International, Inc., whose mission is to empower over 1 million women by 2046 to start living the life of their dreams. To schedule your free consultation with Patricia, please visit talkwithpatricia.com. Hey, Patricia, I'm so excited to have you here
Hi,
today.
Amy. I'm so excited too. And yes, I can't wait to meet you finally in person because, like Amy was saying, we've known each other for like forever. We've spoken quite often, but we haven't met in person yet. But it will come.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So things are good. And where are you again?
I'm currently in Toronto, so I just moved back from Montreal. I have a tendency, I just up and I go wherever I'm being guided to go, so I'm very lucky for that.
Which is awesome, which is kind of cool, because then you can kind of travel and go, but you haven't come out this way yet, so waiting for that, but it'll happen. Patricia, I know you have a story to share, so how about you share your story about what you've overcome in your life and share that briefly with us?
Yeah, briefly is a good word because I could probably write several books. So growing up, I was the empath and the introverted girl to the point that unless you were part of my comfort zone, I wouldn't talk to you. So before starting school in New Brunswick, we had to see a school psychologist. I actually refused to speak with him because I didn't feel comfortable around him. So he told my dad that I had like some sort, whatever term they used then, like I had some sort of learning disability or whatever they used then, and I would never graduate from high school. So luckily for me, my dad turned around and said, no, you're not part of her comfort zone, so she just won't talk to you. If you're part of her comfort zone, she just won't shut up. So she doesn't have any sort of problem. So, and also in school, I was bullied as a child. So I was the type of person who would not stand up for myself, and I just allowed the bullying to happen. And then it got really bad to a point that I just wanted to kill myself, because anybody who's been bullied, and especially when it's been going on for years, it's not exactly fun. And especially when you're a very unique person, you're different from everybody else, it makes everything worse. So then I finally graduated from high school. Then I always used to be slim, and at one point in college, of course, I gained a bit of weight because I no longer had my mom around to control what I ate, because my mother was so afraid that I would take after my dad's family that she really watched what we ate, because my dad's family are really like, they're all like, a lot of them have weight issues, we'll just put it like that. So then because I gained weight, I became anorexic for a while, to the point that I almost died. Luckily for me, I landed in the hospital, and I had a really good nurse who was like, okay, I need to sit you down. I don't even have time, but I'm going to sit you down. And so she had quite a talk with me. Then in 2004, I did a major depression. That was really my wake-up call, because I had realized after several months, like, what am I doing with my life? Like, who am I? And because as a child, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I wanted to be a businesswoman and change the world, but yet I went into the corporate world because that was a safe thing to do, right? So that was really my wake-up call. That really was like, okay, I need to start looking at my life. I need to start making quite a few changes. So I just decided I'm going to move to Montreal, but I waited until like my depression was gone, because obviously when you're doing depression, it's not the best time to just start making major decisions. Then my grandfather landed in a hospital and he was dying. So I chose to stay home because I knew if I moved to Montreal that I wouldn't be able to go to the funeral. So he died, I think, about a month later after I was supposed to move. So then in May, I finally just decided, okay, let me go visit my brother. I had never been to Montreal at this point, but I knew I wanted to move there. That's just how I roll. So I went to visit my brother in Montreal, fell in love with Montreal because it's a beautiful city. 3 weeks later, I ended up moving. Then I started being an entrepreneur, but it was a struggle. So I decided to go back into the corporate world, because being an entrepreneur is not always easy, especially be able to make a living out of it. So I chose to go back in the corporate world. In July of 2012, I was in a car accident. I almost died. That was really my wake-up call, because then I realized, okay, how many wake-up calls am I going to get? So then I start studying the law of attraction. I start getting all my certifications. I start studying marketing, social media, a whole bunch of things. And then in October 2013, I moved to Toronto, and that's where me starting to take massive action started happening. And that's where I became like a self-employed entrepreneur. Now I work 100% just for me. And I'm actually loving my life that I created, and I'm actually get to do what I'm passionate and what I'm meant to be doing. So in a nutshell, that's my life. I mean, I could go on and on and on because I've overcome a lot more, but you did say briefly.
Wow. And what you did share with us, Patricia, that's pretty powerful. And like you, I can relate to the younger growing up years of being, teased, picked on, bullied. But in the mid 1980s, we didn't call it bullying. It was just being called, you're being picked on. So I can totally relate to that piece of your story. So thank you very much for sharing that with us. Now, although if you could change anything in your life that has happened to you in your past, would there be anything you would change, and why, or why not?
I think if I could change one thing would have been after, because I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So when I graduated from high school, I went to the college and I studied small business management. If I could have done something different, would have been to start listening then to my heart and going through the entrepreneur route, not waiting so long. But I now know, though I don't have no regrets, but I now know because this is the journey I needed to do. That would be the only thing I think I would have changed, would have been to start that young. But like I said, it's my journey, and I know now because of where I'm heading, the journey I had to go through was exactly that.
Yeah, totally. Listening to those signs, listening to those messages, and yeah, I know we've all heard it, that sometimes you just start with like a knock or a little pebble, and then the pebble turns to a bigger pebble and a stone, and like finally the house falls down on you, type of thing, with wake-up calls or messages. And being in a car accident also for you was probably one of those house falling on you type moments, wake-up calls.
Well, it also made me realize, I mean, I almost died several times. I mean, I had my major depression, and what I didn't share about my major depression, because for me, most part is genetic, and I do have family members who have killed them, who have committed suicide. So at one point, I'm okay, I have three options. I can either do whatever it takes to overcome it, and I mean, yes, I will always be prone to minor depressions, but I know my signs. Do whatever it takes and get back to myself, so I no longer don't have to do another major depression, or I can stay in that energy. If I choose to stay in that energy, suicide I was like, well, I might as well just kill myself. So luckily, I choose to do whatever it takes to overcome it. And yes, it's not something that's easy to overcome, but I was so determined to never do another major depression back again that I chose me. put myself first. I choose to stand in my own power.
Yeah.
And take control of my life. And like I said, if I had to do it back again, I definitely would do it back again. Even though all of the hard work it took to get to where I am, it was worth it.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Now, I've kind of heard flickers of what your why is. So can you tell me and everybody, Patricia, please, what is your why and why you do what you do today?
My why, I want everybody, especially female entrepreneurs, to realize you have the power to create the life and business that you want. You can live an abundant life. You can have all the money you want. If you want to be 100% self-employed entrepreneur, you have the power to create that. And the reason I do what I do is because I've been there. I've been the one struggling. I've been the one not knowing, am I going to be able to pay my rent next month? Am I going to be able to eat like supper tomorrow? Am I going to have food on the table next day? And I'm sick and tired of seeing people struggle because we don't need to struggle. And for a lot of us, it's programming. It could be either the religious we grew up in, or the culture, or our parents' beliefs, or a genetic belief. And to me, it pains me when I see people struggling. So that's my big why. I'm tired of seeing people struggling, and I want everybody to realize you can live a happy, fulfilled, abundant life, and whatever that looks like for you.
That's a powerful one, Patricia. Thank you. And I'm guessing that this must go into what you do for your business. So what is your business about, and what do you do?
I do many things, but I'm in the process of going back to my source. So basically my business is I help spiritual entrepreneurs to first get clear on what it is they truly want. I help them get over any of their blocks to get what they want. So, and a lot of it is money blocks, because a lot of times as a spiritual entrepreneur, if you're a healer, a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't be charging for your service, or, oh, I should just give everything away for free. Well, when you're an entrepreneur, I'm sorry, but like Lisa Lartner says, and we both, that's how I think that's the group we met, or maybe another group. I know we're part of quite a few groups. Free is too expensive. And when that finally clued in, that's when I start making money in my business, because I realized free is too expensive. I mean, I almost had to file for bankruptcy because I was giving everything away for free. So that's one of the things I help my clients go through. I also teach them how to create and manifest the life and business they truly desire, because a lot of times as a spiritual entrepreneur, we don't have a strong foundation. We're trying to do everything, but really there's specific steps you need to start. When you're first starting out, you shouldn't be acting like you're the CEO or you're making a six-figure, because there's different steps. So I really teach all of my clients how to do all of that, because for me, it's important that you create the life and business that you truly desire. And the you truly desire is really strong for me. It's not what your parents want from you, or your husband or your spouse, whatever. It's what do you truly want?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Do you have any testimonials you can share, or a story from one of your clients who's changed or morphed herself from working with you?
So I have a few. So I have one client last year. She could only earn passive income. That's normally people have a hard time earning passive income, but she could only earn passive income. So after 2 energy healing session with her, she was able to start earning active income, which up until that point was no matter what she did, she couldn't earn active income. Now, normally it's the reverse. People have no problems getting active income, like a job or whatever, but she couldn't get any of that. Her was all passive income. And I've also been working with a client that we started around August or September of last year. Since working with her, her confidence has come up. Now when she's going through life challenges, she's actually able to go through with them with ease and grace. She's also now knowing she did a big cleanup in her environment, because who you hang around with makes a big difference. And she's now creating the life and business she's always wanted. And she now believes that it's on its way to her. So like I said, she's probably my favorite client because she's overcome a lot. This was somebody who had a hard time saying hello to people. Now she'll say hello to everybody. Like, she's the person that will talk to everybody. She had a hard time. She's in network marketing, so she had a hard time picking up a phone. First time I'm like, okay, you need to pick up the phone and just call somebody. She was having like massive anxiety attacks. Now she's able to pick up a phone and it's like, okay, I'm just picking up the phone. So her comfort zone has grown a lot. So those are probably my two most like for testimonials for that I've had for clients.
Those are amazing. From going from not being able to talk on the phone to like picking up the phone, talking to people, saying hello to people in like a network, like a marketing or a networking event type of a thing. Like that's pretty powerful. Good job. Good
Thank
job.
you. Well, she did the hard work, but and plus she's so transparent. If she doesn't do her homework, because I give homework to my clients, she'll be so transparent. So she also takes 100%, 1,000% responsibility for anything that's showing up in her life, and that's huge because unless you learn to start taking responsibility, you're not going to get the results.
For sure. Where are we? Right. So let's switch gears a little bit. And how do you stay empowered in your life?
I do a lot of meditation and energy healing on myself because when I'm empowered is when I'm being myself, when I'm being true to myself. I also watch what I put into my brain. So I in the last 6 months, I did a major cleanup with all of my friends. So anybody who was toxic, I like just released them. They're always welcome to come back in my life once they're ready to like be on the journey that we're on. But as long as they're toxic, I want nothing to do with them. I also watch what I read, what I listen to. I don't listen to news because I mean, it's always depressing. And then just staying true to myself and just making sure that I have the right people around me is what helps me to stay empowered.
Yes, people. People are huge. And positive people and negative people all have different roles to play. And yeah, totally. That's so true. What is a book, a movie, a song that empowers you to keep going in your own life?
Lately, It's My Life by Bon Jovi because the song is basically saying it's your life. It's now or never. So it's either you start living it now, you start taking action now, or it could be never because you don't know how long when is your time to go. So it's basically, it's my life. It's now or never. So just do whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah, that's a good song. I like that song. Bon Jovi is pretty awesome. I heard he was in Toronto not too long ago, actually. A couple friends down that way from high school actually saw him in concert a week or so ago, I think. So yeah, that's kind of fun that Bon Jovi is a good song choice. I think you mentioned it earlier, but what is one step that the viewers can do to empower themselves today?
I would say, first of all, stop giving a damn what anybody else says about you because you're never going to get other people's approval. So that was something used for me. And start putting yourself first. Some people are going to find it hard. Some people are going to be like, whoa, because when I did that with my brothers, I mean, one brother stopped talking to me for 2 years. Now we're closer than ever because I start stepping up. I start putting me first and I set the boundaries. So set your boundaries and respect yourself and put yourself first. And if the people don't like it, well, then that's not your problem. That's on them. It doesn't reflect on you. It reflects on them. So put yourself first.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. What would be a message, Patricia, that you would want to tell the next generation of girls about empowering themselves? So, for example, if you go back to that 11-year-old girl that you once were and tell her something, what would that be?
I think it would be stop caring what everybody else thinks because you're never going to get the approval of everybody. The only person's approval that matters is your own. And it's okay, embrace your uniqueness because as a child, I mean, I'm a master energy healer teacher, so I had those gifts, but because I was different, I didn't embrace it. It actually got suppressed out of me. So just embrace your gift, accept yourself for who you are, and don't care what anybody else say or think about you. What you think about yourself is what matters the most.
Yeah, for sure. That's true. And that's sometimes a hard one to swallow and the hard one to be okay with, really. Yeah. So, Patricia, who is someone you'd want to thank, who inspires you to be your best self, who's helped you when you were going through a difficult time? If you could write a thank you card to that person, what would it say and who is that person?
Right off the bat, I would have to say Robin Sharma, and it's because I had a conversation with one of my coach, because when I was in the corporate world, before I made the jump to transition, and I was working in a very toxic environment, and I was listening a lot to Robin Sharma. And at the time, he had his program called You're Absolutely Best Here Yet. So for me, that really helped to change my mind. I would just say thank you for sharing his message and for putting himself out there, because he started as a self-publisher, and now he sold, at least last time I checked, over 5 million books. So it's basically anything is possible. And he shares that in one of his message, and just be yourself.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. So let's switch back themes a little bit. What's something business-wise that's coming up that our viewers need to know about?
So I'm in the process of doing another healing certification. So starting in the month of May, probably middle of May, I'm going to be putting an offer. I'm going to start giving them, but I'm going to be launching a beta program. So it's going to be private one-on-one and or group, which is very exciting. It's a very powerful healing modality. It's helped change my life like tremendously. And I mean, I've done a lot of studying. I've done a lot of certifications. But this is by far the most powerful healing tool that I've ever experienced. And I can't wait to be able to share it with everybody, because I know it's life-changing, and I know I'm going to be able to help a lot of people to release everything that no longer serves them, so they can start shining their light in the world.
That's cool. That sounds pretty exciting. And Patricia, what's next for you? Or, if you could, what's another dream? Like, what's another intention that you've set for yourself? I mentioned when we read your bio about something about empowering a whole bunch of women by a certain date.
Over 100 million. So I'm playing big, because that's what I'm meant to do. I'm not meant to play on a small scale. And so my goal by 2046 is to empower over 100 million women to start creating the life and business that they truly want. I'm also going to start working on my solo book. So like, Amy, I've compiled my own book series, which happened is now I can say I'm a #1 international best-selling author, compiler, and publisher, because the last book went #1 international in like 4 countries, I think. Like Denmark, Australia, Canada, US, and I think there's another country. So my next step for me, obviously, is to write my first solo book. And I'm starting my own podcast. Like, I have a whole lot of projects on the go. And like I said, starting next month, once I'm moved and I'm established, I'm going to be everywhere.
That's awesome. Congratulations on choosing to do your own solo memoir. I'm in the process of that too. And my process is a blog a week, and then those blogs can turn into the chapter by the end of the year.
And I guess we both know an anthology book and a solo book's not the same. But if you can do an anthology book, you can definitely do a solo book, because I find it helps to prepare you and give you the confidence to be able to do a solo book. Oh,
for sure. Totally agree with you on that. Yeah. So I mentioned it at the beginning, but how about you share again, how can they contact you?
So if anybody's interested in learning more about my new healing modality that I'm going to be able to teach, or how I can help you to start creating the life and business you want, you can just go to talkwithpatricia.com and schedule a free consultation. My website is loalifecoaching.com, and from there, I'm very active on social media. I'm on YouTube, where I have like new moons and full moon rituals. The last full moon ritual actually had over 800 views on YouTube. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. I'm all over the place. But on my website, you'll be able to find all the links for all of that.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, we'll put your website, the Talk with Patricia. We'll show that below here, so it'll be awesome. Patricia, thank you so much. We've actually come to the end of our show. Do you have any other final words of wisdom that you'd want to share with our viewers today?
It's your time to shine your light. You're worthy of it, and the real you, and you'll help make the world a better place.
That's really good. I like that. Hang on a minute. We'll touch base again in a couple of minutes. Thank you so much, Patricia.
Thank you so much for having me, Amy. It was always fun, like usual.
You're welcome. So we've come to the end of our show today, everyone, and I thank you for watching and sharing and liking these posts that come about. Remember that inch by inch, you can overcome the challenges that are in front of you. And I believe in you, and I know that you can get through anything. Till next time, be brave, be bold, and be yourself. Bye.